Coding, storage, and retrieval are the three components of memory. Humans tend to remember information better if we are in a similar physical context and emotional state at the time we wish to retrieve information as we were in at the time we were exposed to the information. We encode and store information that has been processed by our senses. We then have to retrieve it effectively. When we encode, we take in the information. We then store the information over a long period of time if we use long-term memory. When we have to remember the information, we then retrieve the stored information. Problems in encoding are often related to poor attention, but problems with storage is related to forgetting. With retrieval, we may know information is stored somewhere, we may know partial knowledge of it, but it is currently not accessible. These three processes can help us understand the cycle of memory and how each process affects memory and what we can do to sharpen our memory. Another problem with retrieval can be that one has lots of information stored in one's memory, but only a small portion is available for access. The events we remember depend on their functional significance. What we are able to retrieve depends on the context in which the information was encoded or classified in the first place, and to what extent it matches the retrieval context. Knowing this, we may be able to understand why we cannot remember some things in our life that we try to recall. Short-term memory has a capacity of around 7 items. It has limited capacity, so old information is displaced by new input. Less important thoughts are used then decayed. With sensory memory, what we ignore is lost or decayed. Long-term stores the meaning of the information, so people usually cannot remember the exact wording of something presented, but can report the meaning or the gist of it. Sometimes we forget information. To learn about memory, we can improve our learning process. Forgetting is the loss of information that has been put into storage. Forgetting may occur not because of the problem in retaining information in storage, but because similar memories become confused and they interfere with each other when we try to retrieve them. One type of forgetting is a passive way where memory fades over time. The other active way occurs when memory traces are disrupted, obscured, or overlaid. Knowing the causes of forgetting, we can try to tackle ways to prevent forgetting. Deep within our brains, memories are sorted into the hippocampus. Important memories are printed by the hippocampus and then filed away indefinitely in the cerebral cortex. Cerebral cortex has long-term memories that have been printed by the hippocampus or stored indefinitely. So, we should try to cherish important memories because we remember less than 0.001% of the events in our lives. There are many different ways we forget everyday mundane things, such as interference with memory, failure to store, and failing to retrieve.